In this video I'm going to look at how to use the open document approach to start work, using pretty much the same way I've just been through it in the blog article which you may have just read. So first thing I'm going to do is open the document, and to do this there's a number of places I can do this. I can use the open document command down here. I can use the open document off the top of the toolbar up here. I can use file, open document. If I was in the projects view, I can use the open document from here. These all do the same thing. They open a single file for translation immediately. So if I click on open document, pick my file, if I'm happy with the languages in the translation memory, I can click on OK, and my file is now open for translation. So that wasn't difficult. This is how you could start work on your translation. And I'm already getting a hit from my translation memory. This is my translation results window here. I'm not using a term base, so it's telling me there's nothing open, but I could add one of those as well. So what I'm going to do first, before I do anything else, is show you how I set those languages. So if I just close this for a second, don't save the changes, come back to my home view, I go into Tools, Options, up to Editor, and then Languages. Here you can set the default languages that are automatically selected when you use the open document command. And under language pairs, all language pairs, translation memory and automated translation, you can select the translation memory that will be used, or memories, so you can add as many as you like here. You can even create more here if you want to, and these will be used when you open the document. So I click on open document, select my Word file in this case. Here's my default languages. Here's the translation memory that was there. I can add another one if I want to. I can also create a new one if I want to. And there's various advanced functions and settings that you could change if you wanted to. But if you'd already configured and you are very happy with the way it all works, you just click on OK and your file's open and you're ready for translation. So the first thing I want to do, seeing as I've got a result there, I know there's some things in my translation memory, is maybe do a quick analysis. So I would go to File, Batch Tasks, because all of the tasks you run in Studio are done through batch tasks. And you can see there's none available. And if I click on Project Batch Tasks, there's none available there either. The reason for this is because I haven't saved the project yet. I've just opened it for translation, and in order to activate all of the tasks, it has to become a proper project. So I can click on Save Document, or just press Ctrl S. I'm going to save document. I'm then prompted to give it a location, so I can save this wherever I like. In this case I'm going to let it go here, which is the same folder as the file I've just opened. So I click Save. That's now saved my project, and if I come now and click on File, Batch Tasks, they're now all here, and Project Batch Tasks, you can see they're all here as well. So what I'm going to do is select the Analyze Files, just to run a quick analysis on the file. You could change the settings on here, but this is really about open documents, so I'm just going to accept whatever's there and click Close. You can also reopen it. Yes, that's a new feature in SP2, by the way. I'm not sure that was there in SP1, Studio 2011 SP1. And I click on Reports, and because this was the file that was active, I now get the report for that file that I was just translating. So you can see here I've got all the details on the file. And if I wanted to send that file to a customer or something, it's very simple. I can right click on the file that I want to pick up. I can say Save As, and then there's a number of formats I can save that as. So I can save it as a Excel file, HTML file, MHT or XML. And I could even, if I wanted to, just copy and paste. But I'll go back to my translation. I click on File, Batch Tasks, Analyze Files. I've just done that. Let me cancel that. I've already done my analysis. I'll click on File, Batch Tasks, Pre-Translate Files, and next. My minimum batch value, I'm going to make that a bit lower. Let's say 50, so pre-translate to 50. Then I click on Finish, and I get a message telling me that the pre-translate minimum match value cannot be set less than the translation minimum match value. So to correct that, I need to go into the search settings for that. So I open up the translation memory and automated translation, click on search, and you can see the minimum batch value was 70 and I was looking for 50. So I'll reduce that to 50 as well. Make sure that's still there, 50. So it corrected it to something it thought it could handle. This time I should be okay. Yep. Close. Reopen my file. And there's my file pre-translated. So I've got my translation, I'm ready to go. This window looks a bit small, by the way. You can widen this by clicking on this nice and easily. You can even, just by pressing F11, move everything out of the way, and then you've got the full screen, so it becomes a bigger environment to be able to work in, so it doesn't have to be so small. So that's my file translated, pre-translated, and now I can get on with it, translate the file and the way that I'm going. But let's say I had to finish the work for now, so I click on close, and then I go away and do whatever I've got to do. What I could do now is I could click on open document, and you see now when I do that, this time I've got various files in there. So I've got the project files folder, that's a temporary folder, will disappear. I've got a project file, and I've got an open document file. I've got the STLX file. If I click on the open document to open it up again, I'm brought up with another box that's telling me that that file is already part of a project. So at this point I don't want to create a new project file, because if I do, I'm going to open it up from scratch and I won't be able to work on all the things that I'd already done. So I'm going to say open the existing project file, and when I did that, if I did that, that would then, in fact I'll do it, this will now open it up and I should be where I was before with all my translations in place. But the better way to work, once I've already created this file, is rather than use the open document again, click on the projects, scroll down to your open document, or the one that you had open. So here's my single file project. It's still active actually, but if it wasn't, I just double click on it to make it active. Go to my files view, and there's my file. You can see the progress on that. It's 42% complete. So I can, and also, just in case you didn't know, there's a few little analysis statistics that you can get, confirmation statistics, just based on this initial file. So I can see I've got 69 words still to translate in there. But if I double click that file, this now opens it up in the editor and I'm ready to go. And this is by far the better way to work until you finish your translation. If you didn't know where you'd put the translation, I'm just going to show you this one before I sign off this video. If you come back to your projects view at any time, you can right click on here and say open project folder. This will open up Windows with Windows Explorer and opens up in the location where the files are, so you can always find the files again. So doing everything through the projects view rather than using open document and going back to other places is a better way to work. So even though you've used open document, you really are working with projects. You're just working with a single file project, so not going through a wizard where you can create multilingual projects, where you can add lots of files, where you can do a lot more stuff. It's a very straightforward, simple way to work, and I hope that was useful.